to episode 10 of the I'm Playing podcast. We've made it to number 10. Double figures. I'm one of your hosts, Alex Nichol, aka ThinkBad Monkey. Joining me in Hot Seat today, as always, Conrad Window, aka Rob Nom. Hello, Conrad.
Whack one in, listeners.
The other one chuckling in the corner is Stephen Riley, aka Kalis.
Hi guys, how's it going? Good?
Yeah, good.
Oh, I was only laughing.
I thought you were talking to the audience.
I think I'm going to reply twice.
Double jinx. And the other one, of course, last but no means least, is Alec Ward, aka Alex Perlick. How are you doing, mate?
It's good to be back.
It's good to have you back.
Missed your faces.
Do you have to do a different thing for every single person? There's a different approach.
I like to take a different approach because I view you all as individuals, so I can't just blanket.
Mr. Equality.
Mr.
Equality?
Mr. Equality.
Yeah.
That's my superhero name.
Or a sweet.
Mr. Equality. Yeah, it's true. We had guests last week, but we got the gang back together. We had a guest, so we had the gang back together. And there's been some interesting developments where got some stuff on the agenda, guys, I'll tell you that. But as always, we love to start these podcasts in opening the room to discuss the games we're playing. So is anyone playing anything interesting? I mean, I've been playing Infamous Second Son.
Yeah.
Anyone got anything better than Infamous Second Son this week?
I was just about to say.
I walked into that one in fairness. No, but I have been playing Infamous Second Son. I'm going to kick this off. It's bad man. It's a badass, bad man game.
I've heard a lot of stuff about it, really, which is always kind of saying good about it as well. So it's not.
It's
got
very.
For a time that a lot of hype.
Yeah, it's got very good pros. I think the interesting here, it's probably done well from not having as much. Titanfall took all the hype, which I mean, Infamous got away from having too much hype.
But it was still up there.
Yeah, it was like flying in a jet stream. It was like flying in the not jet stream. What's the
slipstream?
Slipstream. It was in the slipstream.
It's slipstream in Titanfall, and then it was like whoa, overtake.
It darted out a little bit.
Just like the Xbox One will.
No, man.
I mean, it won't.
So I've got some sales figures here. But interestingly, did you hear that the Titanfall's boosted Xbox sales figures in the UK by 96%?
That's because a lot of people were holding out there. A lot of people were just thinking, oh, do I get an Xbox, do I get a PS4? And then they was always going, oh, they're going to rely on Titanfall. And that's been a saying through from the start.
Yeah.
And it's actually happened. Like, a lot of people say, no, Titanfall's going to be the one that sells it and then it flops. But this one has actually stayed, doesn't it?
True. I'd be interested to see the actual sales. I heard that
very floppy. But it didn't flop. It stayed very erect.
At the same time, I heard that
sales have been erect.
Infamous boosted PlayStation 4 sales figures by 106%.
Oh, really?
But that could also be due to the PS4 coming back into stocks because, as we all know, they're very hard to get hold of at the moment due to shortages of consoles. So there's factors in that as well.
I reckon there's just one guy buying all of the PlayStation 4s.
It is. It's that video we saw of that guy goes, hey, how many PlayStations do you own? I own 4 PlayStation 4s. And it's like, have you seen that? It's the most random video because it's basically when no one had any. Basically, it was like it all sold out, and he was just sitting there with like 4. And he goes, guess what I can do with 4 PlayStation 4s, and I can just play it. And he literally had like 4 screens all set up.
Was he playing different games?
What?
Yeah.
No,
literally.
It just doesn't get any better.
No, it might be. I don't know. It might be either 3 or 4 PlayStation 4s, and he just was bragging about it. So.
Well, we wouldn't have 3 PlayStation 4s.
We might have.
What would be the point in that?
Yeah.
Irony. Probably not.
How I see it is that the manufacturing plant on PlayStation is much like the Pinocchio's dad's workshop. There's just one guy with a hammer just making them. He's like, oh, that's
lovingly made.
Yeah.
He just like sort of brushes it.
It's like you see a stock video of like a carpenter brushing it down, and he puts one on the side,
kind of like
and then he starts another part.
It's kind of like the Wix advert.
Yeah. And that's the process they thought was going to be most effective. Now they've got 2 guys doing it. They've just got another guy. They've got the nannies from the Shreddies adverts. And now they make PlayStations. But Infamous is great, and the biggest thing that I love about Infamous is the motion capture on the faces. And this is something that you mentioned that you've probably seen with like L.A. Noire and certain things, but it totally makes the game. The characters are so lovable. I'd say lovable. As in, like, the reason to love the game is for the characters, whether they be bad, whether they be good. You know, you don't love all the characters. Some you hate, some you feel sorry for. But that is all in the facial expressions. You know, and the fact that I can look at a character now and know what he's feeling. He doesn't have to say it. It doesn't have to be a text bubble. Is freaking incredible. And especially the difference between I played the good playthrough. I'm now going through the bad or the evil playthrough, and the difference in facial tones makes you. It tells you whether he's a badass or whether he's a hero.
Do people actually relate to you though? I mean, is it one of those things where like you had it in like Fable when you went down the good or the bad route? When you was like really evil, when you went down that route, do people react to that?
Yeah, absolutely. So you're walking on the world,
basically.
as in the good one. By the end of the game, they're going, "Yeah, go on, Delson, man, yeah, woo!" In the evil one, they will run away from you and they're scared. It doesn't help the fact that if I see a group of civilians, like they're all just dead.
Yeah, so what happens if you're not really good at that? They start cheering at you, walk up to them and just like sucker punch them.
They will run away.
Oh, do they? So they
But
just
I mean,
carry on cheering at you. If you lay one out.
It takes a lot of. If you're full good, if you're fully good,
Yay, power!
if you're fully good, it would take a lot of killing civilians to make you bad.
Oh,
Like,
really?
yeah. In the same way, if you're bad, like sparing someone's life, you'll do one drug test isn't going to make people like you.
Find a tree and then like get a kitty out of it when you're like evil devil horns.
Yeah, I'm good. Going over for treats. I really did.
Well, where else would they be? They're not going to be up like telephone poles. It's going to be a tree.
But it's cool in the storyline. I mean, it's funny with the storyline, the actual the way you deal with the decisions, good or evil in the story, make you feel like a bastard if you do the evil ones, right? But in the same time, playing as the evil one is so much more fun because you don't care. You blast civilians.
Yeah.
It's easy to play. So it's a lot of fun.
I always feel bad being the bad guy.
Oh, I hate it so much. And the cutscenes, and you're a dick, and you're like, it's almost cringy.
Yeah.
I don't want to do this.
That kind of brings in like that emotional kind of side into it. Even though like you might think, oh, I'm just going to be an arse for the sake of it. Sometimes even when you're playing a game, it's quite difficult to do that. You think, oh, do I really want to do that?
It is difficult to do
in a game because you technically don't need to be attached to it because you're not involved. It's just a game at the end of the day. So why do you have to then pursue that altruistic character? It's just a game at the end of the day. So it should just matter just doing it anyway.
It's the same thing for me. I was playing The Walking Dead Season 2, Episode 2. Not the one with hay. I think we covered that last time. It was called like A Long Road of Hay or something like that.
A long road to a barn.
You can lead a horse to hay, but you can't make it in.
It was called Farmville. It was like
But yeah, the whole sort of choosing what's right and wrong. I think The Walking Dead does it really well in that you don't really know what's right or wrong anymore.
I wonder how the Borderlands ones will turn out.
I don't know.
I'm not sure. I love Borderlands. I love Borderlands.
And I love Telltale, but I don't think it's a match made in heaven. But the Game of Thrones one, I reckon that'd be really good.
Yeah, man.
Not that I've ever watched Game of Thrones, but I do like it.
I
thought that was Harry Potter.
Great.
Harry Potter.
I started off well and then I forgot, so I went back.
The first 20 minutes of the episode is just going to be a theme tune.
Yeah.
And then there was this dragon. But it's not here yet.
Guys, let's get onto gaming, okay? Me and Con have been totally addicted to this game, which we've tried to get you addicted to. And if you please don't start playing this game because it will take over your life. And it's a game called 2048 on the iPhone. I don't know if it's an Android. I can check.
Probably not.
I will find out.
It's basically you've got a series. How many squares is there?
It's a grid of 4x4.
4x4. And you get multiples of 2, and basically the aim of the game is to just keep matching 2 pairs to get higher numbers and higher numbers. And it sounds really freaking simple, but my god, like
2048 number puzzle game, or is it?
Yeah, the top one. No, the top one.
Oh, it is the top one.
Yeah, you can get it on Android as well.
Okay.
My god, it's crazy good, man.
Number puzzle game.
It's funny talking about a game like Infamous, and then how good that is, and then talking about a game like this, which is just so simplistic. It just shows the value of games that you can have something that good and
it's a number game though. So what is it? Why is it so? What makes it so addictive?
It's like a stupid man Sudoku.
Look, Con's playing it now. Look, I'll show you. Look, we'll show you. Look, Con's playing it now. The aim of the game, so you've just got to combine stuff like this.
This is
4-4.
This is making for great podcasting.
Well, I think they can just
viewers at home. Imagine that there is a box of 6 boxes.
See, I've got command, so I made 16, and it's crazy addictive. And it's a testament to how iPhone games and small games like this now, which you get a neat little idea, and it's great to see that idea.
It's kind of like Flappy Birds as well.
Yeah, you get a simple little idea and it just becomes addictive.
Flappy Birds with numbers.
And it helps you add as well. I now know that 2 + 2 = 4, which beforehand, I would have been fucked. I wouldn't have known that.
Yeah. Always a bit sketchy. I always get a little bit confused after 4, to be honest.
But now, if you download this app, then it's a good bit of education for us
Download the app. You guys download the app and play it. Please, no one at home do, because I don't want to encourage people to
learn maths.
Not go to work.
Or learn maths.
Who's been playing football, Chairman?
That
Con's been playing
would
football.
be me.
That sounds like the most depressingly boring game.
It's actually quite a lot of fun, you know.
Football, Chairman, you need to get investment for your football team.
Well,
I don't know
that
what
is
it's about,
microtransaction, right there. It's like get an Arab billionaire to give you 50 million. I mean, if I was going to ask an Arab billionaire for help, I'd want more than 50 million. But it's beside the point. So yeah, so what you do is it.
Would you stop playing that 2048 game?
I'm sorry, it's so addictive. It's got my kids on stage.
You're just playing. You're just talking about this football manager. You're still just playing it as you're talking.
That's how I roll, baby.
Multitasking. Anyway, so continue.
No. So yeah, you can like upgrade your stadium, and you sack the manager if they're doing it right. And
if you're Manchester City or Chelsea, you sack the manager every half season.
You set up your own team, and you can call them like Ballsack United and shit like that. And
That sounds awesome.
yeah, they're doing well.
Also United.
Which cup?
Well, it's called the Lower Divisions Cup, but I'll tell you, it's called the Johnston Paint Trophy.
Oh, okay, the equivalent of.
Yeah.
I
Well,
don't think
obviously-
it's even called the Johnson's Paint Trophy anymore.
Well, that's how old school I am.
Called like the Coca-Cola something or other.
Probably is by now. Sky Bet or some shit.
Yeah, probably. Paddy Power
Speaking
Cup.
of £50 million and Arab billionaires, Conrad, you may want more than £50 million. Would you take £2 billion?
2 billion.
Would you take £2 billion? Because
This is related to something, isn't it?
I feel like there's a sort of lead on here.
I don't know if anyone's heard this yet. It's quite underground, but Facebook has just purchased Oculus Rift
Which one's
for
Facebook?
$2 billion. It's the one with the blue.
Oh,
top.
no, but the one with the bird or without the bird?
It's the one with the F.
The F.
The F.
Ah, right. On a book.
Yeah.
I swear that when it comes to Facebook, when they go to buy
I
something,
swear.
they just like look at something and
It's
say,
the
"I want
truth.
that." Put a number down randomly and then just add zeros
Well, it's
on.
Mark Zuckerberg, isn't it?
It's
He
like,
can
that's like
buy
with
what he
Facebook.
wants.
They bought for $17 billion, and now they've just gone this and got like
Does
200.
the acquisition of Oculus Rift by Facebook make you positive in your eyes, negative in your eyes? For me, it's an odd match. Yeah, it's just weird. It kind of it's fantastic that it's bringing VR and gaming and this technology into the limelight. The amount of tweets I've seen of people saying, "What the hell is Oculus Rift?" because they've just seen the news. Facebook's bought them is fantastic. It means it's going to raise awareness of the industry.
Massively.
Same time, I don't see Facebook as this big gaming platform. And why have they even purchased Oculus Rift?
Farmville.
Candy Crush.
Candy Crush.
Yeah.
Candy Crush Sagas. Farm Saga.
Candy
is
Crush.
another
You're
one.
in there like you're trying to avoid
Being crushed.
being
by
crushed.
candy.
Oh my god!
It's like literally like being in a candy shop.
That'll be nightmares of that.
Yeah.
I think.
I mean, is it? If for social, I mean, I don't want to. No offense, guys, right? But if I'm at home, not seeing you, I don't want to put a headset on and look at you virtually.
Well, it wouldn't work.
I mean, you're not too
anyway.
pretty in real life, you know. So why would I want to look at a virtual? Unless you could Photoshop yourself.
I have a question for Alec.
Yeah.
In this candy shop, is 50 Cent singing all the time?
Which song?
I'll take you to the candy shop.
I'll let you lick my lollipop.
The lollipop, I believe.
That's pretty much. I mean, to be honest, I've never played Candy Crush before, but I kind of feel like the crux of the game is 50 Cent licking lollipops.
I've never played
whole-
Candy Crush. Steve's played Candy
I
Crush.
did.
That's the
Is that what happened? Was
Yeah.
the whole thing 50 Cent licking lollipops?
It probably was behind layers of moving little candy cube thingies, and so probably
So
I'll tell you who doesn't view this as a good move is Notch, from who of course is the maker of Minecraft.
If you haven't heard of it before.
Yeah, what is Minecraft?
What? Yeah, these Facebook, Minecraft. What are these? I swear people just make stuff up, and it's getting ridiculous.
Oculus Rift. Now everyone's heard of that.
Facebook.
What is it? A book of faces?
I do think that Facebook buying it out will be a problem for those who are a bit more hardcore gamers, I think, because they're going to see the Facebook acquisition of it and go, oh, where's this going to go? Is this going to like automatically post every shit to Facebook and then connect it that way? And
everything you see.
It's going to be good ways to audience and raising awareness, because a lot of people, as you said, don't have a clue about it, and this is a good way of raising awareness for it, but it's probably going to be taking it away from its main audience, maybe. And that will then kind of dim it down, and people are going to go, oh, it's Facebook that brought it out, Facebook is buying this, they're buying that. I'd rather just go with something different, and hence why you've got the PS4 look on it as well.
Yeah, well, of course. Does this benefit Morpheus? I think it has to.
I think it will do.
I think Morpheus has got Sony, but Oculus had to have a big buyer, right? Morpheus has Sony behind it, which has got the money. It's not like they're looking to be bought out by anyone.
But things like Oculus had Kickstarter though, and it's done fairly well off Kickstarter.
It had like $2 and a bit million.
Yeah, but nothing compared to Sony.
Nothing compared to $2 billion.
Or $2 billion, yeah.
I mean, and everyone on Kickstarter is freaking kicking up about the whole thing, excuse the pun, because they sort of sold out of it. A lot of people think they sold out. But I mean, I think this is definitely, it's only going to help Morpheus. One, because people like Minecraft may now just come exclusively to Morpheus. And two, it raises awareness of VR in general. So more people are going to be aware of Morpheus because of this in general.
I think there's going to be positives and negatives. I mean, obviously the positives are Oculus Rift now has $2 billion to play with, to invest into
technology.
And it's not only just got that $2 billion, Facebook now owns it. So if they say, look, we want to invest in this and we want to develop this, we want to develop a new part of it or a different part of it, they're not going to be like, you know what, we don't have a couple 100,000 to give you. They're just going to throw money at it.
But it also does come down to, I mean, well, you've used the Oculus Rift, and so have I, and all I've heard about, well, as you know, is that when it goes on your face, it's so close to your eyes, it's almost touching your eyelids, your eyeballs. But also it looks as well, aesthetics. Because when you look at the Oculus Rift, it looks quite square, it looks quite bulky. And then you see what the PS4's Morpheus looks like, and it looks pretty sweet. It looks streamlined.
I really want to try.
Nice.
I really want to try the Rift. I really want to try both of them, but I really want to try a Rift with a good display. Because the one we've got,
HD one,
the one we've got, and I've tried. I mean, Conrad, you'll agree, it's not. It's funny. You can see the pixels.
The 720p.
And it really churns my stomach, man. I get such a bad headache.
That's
so
why I think Minecraft would make me feel unwell.
Well,
Maybe
HD, you know.
It's still all pixels. Minecraft is just pixels.
Well, it is, but it's the smoothness. When you got 720p, it literally was very pixelated. But when it comes to 1080p, it will be pixels, but be smooth. It'll be a nice. I think it'd be much easier on the eye.
I still think that just made me feel really sick.
What got me was I did a roller coaster sim, so I was sitting there just looking about, not controlling anything. That was fine. It's when I started to control something using the mouse, and I started to play Half-Life.
Where you feel a bit more immersed.
That's when I started to feel a bit ill, trying to focus and do this. And I actually think about it now, it makes me feel a little bit queasy as well. I don't know. My console's not feeling too hot anyway, so we'll.
Just while we're on the topic of Facebook, did anyone else see about? It was announced today that they've drawn up the plans for the drones that's going to give Africa and the 2/3 of the world without internet. That's all drawn up now.
Oh really? No, I haven't heard that at all.
Yeah.
No.
Why are they going to do
I didn't even know they was doing that.
They're starving and they have no water.
It's pretty much-
At least they can stream YouTube.
Yeah, it's pretty much spy drones, but obviously not for spying. It's for
Internet.
giving internet. Yeah.
Well,
But
it's interesting.
Google are using balloons, aren't they? Google's plan is balloons.
Ah.
I don't know.
These guys are drones. No, I haven't heard this.
drones, because Amazon are doing it as well, aren't they? They're looking into that.
Oh no, that's
That's
a different.
Yeah, but I'm just saying drones in general.
Yeah.
This idea of this thing.
Using computers and.
that's
I'll
what
tell you what. South Africa need a bit of that. Did you guys hear that Titanfall isn't available in South Africa because they didn't think their internet could? EA didn't think their internet was fast enough to run it.
Nobody's
Good job,
internet
EA.
is, yeah.
Yeah, good job. Yeah, good freaking job. EA. Like,
I mean, it doesn't work on anyone's internet anyway, so what does it make?
well,
a difference?
Titanfall.
No, just EA. In
Oh,
general,
right.
just the EA
Hey,
service.
Titanfall's good, right?
Yeah. What's not?
Hey, don't be just Titanfall.
No, but you know what EA are like.
No, I know.
Takes a week.
The week.
Fucking twat.
Yeah, well, it's the whole thing, but like they made it run perfectly. They basically made it run perfectly on American and UK servers, and they're like, fuck, like we only need to make it good on these two. South Africa's not that important, so this would be benefit. I'll be pissed off if I was a South African.
Are you? No, you're not.
I'm not actually. No,
No,
I thought I tried to be a little bit.
And then tried to be a little bit pissed off and felt a bit of empathy for him. And then thought,
Yeah,
Back when Mandela was big, you were trying to get into the South
I was trying to get into it. Yeah. I bought some.
Mandela
I bought some memorabilia.
Mandela Maribia.
I bought a Springbok t-shirt. I got proper into it. I watched Invictus. So but no.
But anyway,
There's some Sony announcements, some PlayStation announcements that have been announced. So Sony have announced. It's an announcement like 5 times. Yeah. They are going to try and bring PS1 and PS2 emulators to PS4, which I'm well up for. I love having PS1 games on the Vita. Sony's biggest benefit over anyone is the fact it's got a great software library. They've been in the game for so long now. They've got a great wealth of titles, and anything they can do to tap into that is going to be absolutely fantastic, and it just adds another pool of resources to do this. And what I'm hoping as well is that Sony pushing for this is going to hopefully kick Microsoft into trying to get some backwards compatibility as well, because it was a big hot topic when the console was launched. So Microsoft's got to react somehow, and hopefully we get Xbox Xbox 360 and maybe not 360 because Xbox original titles on the
Xbox 360 would be nice as well.
one. It would be, but I don't see 360 only because it's like PS3 titles, PS4 we're seeing via the streaming. So I think Xbox might have to do something rather than an emulator, which I think is going to be really tricky. I think we'd have to see something clever for 360 titles, unless if Microsoft find a way to allow you to play 360 on the one, and that would be incredible. That's a system seller almost. Even though it's old games, that's still like because people can tap into their massive libraries of games on a new console.
Do you know what I get the biggest boner over?
What?
Me? Playing Time Splitters again.
Oh, if I could play Time Splitters again, I'd be complete. It's a future perfect for me.
Oh,
that would be sweet.
Future perfect.
That'd be incredible. So I'm massively looking forward to that, as well as just playing some PS2 games, Ratchet and Clanks and stuff like that. I'd really enjoy to play again. And then another one. Speaking of sort of last gen, sort of PS3, Xbox 360 generation, there are also rumours that The Last of Us is going to come to PS4 and a remake, almost a Tomb Raider-esque remake. And this, I would laugh, and I'm going to buy it when it comes out.
I thought that was like pretty much. I thought that was done. I thought that was actually.
The thing which I thought was a bit odd is I don't know, and it's rumours to come out later in the year. The thing I thought was odd is they're trying to push PlayStation Now, the streaming service, and Last of Us is one of the few games that's actually available on that service. So I thought it was odd that why would you bring it out on the PS4 when you should really use it to try and push people to get PlayStation Now? You know,
any money you can get though, isn't it?
Absolutely, but I think Sony.
I understand where you're coming from.
Sony, I think, are very clever at the moment. I don't think they jeopardise because short-term money is one thing, whereas what you got to do now is build up the audience over time. So, well, I guess we'll see how that comes out. But I mean, I'd definitely buy it.
Oh, definitely, yeah. I think without hesitation, I'd buy it.
But do you want to listen to Ellen Page moaning for?
It's not Ellen Page. That's Beyond Two Souls.
Yeah, Beyond Two Souls. She just looks like
Ellen Page.
I think they're making a Beyond Two Souls 2, and I think that might be coming on the.
Oh, yeah, I can't remember the market. It's got
Beyond Two Souls.
Beyond Three Souls, but it's actually the second one.
Beyond Good and Evil. That's something else, isn't it?
I think so.
Yeah, that is the title, I think.
Anyway.
So the next news is some games have been announced. Or rumoured at least, and one of them is Far Cry 4, and I love Blood Dragon. Steve, I know you're a huge fan of Far Cry 3. I personally didn't play it. Did you guys play 3?
I played
so you played 3.
3 was amazing.
And you played 3, yeah. So I didn't play 3, I just played Blood Dragon, which was
I didn't play Blood
incredible. Go back, play Blood Dragon. It's unbelievable, man.
And 3 was amazing as well.
So, new Far Cry game. What do we want to see in a new Far Cry game? Me personally, I want to see him do another add-on afterwards, like Blood Dragon. Blood Lizard.
I want to see another game that was
Blood
really
Blood
in depth.
They've already said that they see open world as the way forward.
Because Far Cry 3, I found that I was so into that game. When I played it, I couldn't put it down because I was just so I had to keep playing it. I was like, oh, what's the next game? And then all these character twists and all just the characters themselves were so memorable. Yeah, like when you see it,
I can't remember his name, but the bad guy.
The main bad guy, he was fun, but
all the characters were so memorable. I can't remember his name. He was really memorable. He's stuck in my mind.
It's really cool.
He said memorable.
No, it is because not maybe the actual name, but like their actual way they was. His absolute insanity just came through the character so well.
Brilliant.
I think that Far Cry 3 had one of my favourite ever cutscenes / like voice acting moments when Vass did his the definition of insanity.
Yeah, that's a quote.
Isn't it? Like Einstein, I think, was the definition of insanity.
Yeah. But I think there's very few games where you can just be like going in somewhere, and I remember it. I mean, just because it was just like so. I was not expecting it when I paraglided in somewhere, and then like. Thinking of dubstep comes up, something booms in. And then you've just got Blaze the Weed. And it's just like
it's Skrillex.
And then I was not expecting that at all. And it just and I have my surround sound, and it was quite loud at the time. And it just went boom. And I was like, oh my god!
I was like,
torturous everything, and it was just like
It's rumoured to be set in the Himalayas. That's interesting.
Also, another thing that I read up as well is that you can ride apparently elephants.
Yes, I heard this.
You can ride elephants in Far Cry 4, which would be different. It would be very cool.
Is it going to be like I guess it can't be a follow-on. Not to ruin Far Cry 3.
I don't know. I don't really care. Whatever it'll be.
So. Depends what ending you get.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought both endings you die, don't you?
Spoiler alert.
Oh my! Spoiler alert. So I don't want to spoil anything.
That's just
but here's a huge freaking spoiler. No, not one of the endings you don't. I haven't played it. I've seen both endings. One of them you don't. One of them you.
Oh no, you don't. Yeah, you can't. You can actually choose to be alright.
The one where you don't.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
One where you don't do that.
Do the deed.
You survive.
Don't make the baby.
What's wrong with you? Like, we're trying to hit and gesture here, and you're just like, fuck it.
Why don't we just go through the entire plot of Far Cry 3 right now and just do
I don't really remember that much, but
it was a very memorable
Darth
game.
Vader's your father, I remember that.
I'm gonna get this. No. That's cool, right? But let's avoid spoilers. So. But
that's in Far Cry 4, Alec.
The other one, the other one,
Sure
the other trailer that's been announced, and you guys have all seen now, is and we talked about it last week. We did talk about it last week. Is Assassin's Creed Unity. The cool thing about this, though, rather than the trailer itself, because we did talk about it, is the fact that there's rumour plans to release Unity for the Xbox One and PS4, and then not limit that to the last-gen consoles by releasing another title at the same time, which is on those ones. So this idea that they want to make this huge blowout game for the current gen, but still tap into the audience of the last gen, which is millions and millions of players.
So it'll be a different game.
Different game,
It's a different game.
Different game. It's almost be like a Liberation, and having sort of Black Flag and someone having Liberation.
Will they be making it a lot smaller then? So basically, it's only a little small game, almost like they've done with Metal Gear Solid.
I would imagine it's probably going to be.
I'd imagine they have
still a full game. Still a full game. What they'd probably do, it may even be like a Black Flag 2, so they can use pre-existing assets and that sort of thing. I mean, they made the whole sea and everything for Black Flags. I mean, they could use that world again.
What's it called? Comet?
I think it's either a project or a code name.
Oh,
Comet.
it's not. That's not the name.
I don't know. No, Comet is like what I heard it was about. But that could be incredibly interesting. Actually, what's the time? Okay, cool.
Next up
is we heard the Wolfenstein's coming out, of course.
Yep.
And there's a little bit sketchy about the details here. So I heard that there's going to be a $100 Wolfenstein Collector's Edition, which won't include the game. At first, I thought
which is inverted. This is like Collector's Edition inverted commas.
Freaking ridiculous! Like, why wouldn't it include the game? But I've subsequently heard that you do get the game with it, but they say launch night you can get the game, and then what they do is they'll ship the extra content afterwards because they haven't got the demand to give it to you on launch day, for example. It's almost like you buy the game. And then they send you the stuff afterwards, that would be really freaking cool. Like, imagine if you just get all the collector stuff. You don't have to carry a big box home. You can just buy it. You get the game. You can play the game as soon as you want. Maybe you can get a download code. You can download Midnight Strikes, download the game, and then they send you all the collector stuff.
Yeah,
that'd be fantastic, especially for digital downloads.
Yeah, because is that what I mean? It depends. Because I mean, a lot of games now are doing collector's edition. It used to be quite a rare thing, wasn't it? It was only really
every game does a freaking collector's edition.
It used to be really big time.
Every game has about 7 or 8 collector's edition. What was it? Watch Dogs has like 10 different collector's
editions.
That's
freaking stupid. Yeah, we were checking it out. Yeah.
But do you think they're worth it though? I mean, I got Borderlands 2 collector's edition because I thought it was quite cool. I got the Skyrim one because it came with the dragon. So like, is there only so much? Do you know what I mean? Now, that was pretty much standard. Is there anything that's like in the collector's edition?
I haven't really got anything with a figure except for I got Red Faction Gorilla. Collector's edition where it came with a figure, like a digger figure. I mean, great game, yeah. Destruction physics are really good.
That almost sold it for me, but I just saw really bad reviews, so I never ended up getting it.
Things, what would happen if you had like a Red Faction game, which I really liked the very first one because I played that and I thought that was so different and cool because it had the destruction physics as well. But what if they bring one to the PS4 and Xbox One?
I'm sure there's plans to use the
engine.
Whatever engine they use. Yeah, I'm sure there's plans to do that.
They really need to make more destructible games. Like Battlefield is probably the most destructible game on the next gen at the moment that I can think of.
But I don't see why more people aren't doing that. I mean, there's nothing cooler than just like, it's always terrifying as well. If you're in a building and then it's just, as you're seeing, it's like tanks are just blowing out main structure and you're just thinking, oh, fuck. And you just got to get out.
I'm sure they are working on it. I'm sure they're working on it.
There must be, yeah.
So,
it's quite a niche at the moment. Maybe we should make our own game.
Maybe.
What should we
call it? Destructible World.
We should call it the Untitled
Typhoon.
I'm Playing. Typhoon.
Golden shower.
The
The golden shower. I'm playing in the golden shower.
Yeah, and literally one of us will come round and give
Golden
you a golden
shower,
shower as the
yeah.
collector's edition.
And then the other one of us will throw rubble at you.
What will we having? So, what's your ideal collector's edition to get?
Dragon.
Me personally,
A dragon.
Me personally, I'd like as a collector's edition either steel box or it comes in a sleeve, so the game looks nice. I'd like in-game content, exclusive in-game content.
Yeah.
Not fussed about soundtrack, not fussed about an art book. A map is always good. I'm not talking about a collector's edition that costs hundreds of pounds. I'm the ones that cost like and maybe an extra £10.
Yeah.
A map's always quite good.
Yeah,
It does
that's
vary.
nice.
And like a badge or a hat. So just give me something small.
It does vary, because I was going to say, sorry, with interrupt, but with GTA, I got the collector's edition for that.
I don't get that many collector's editions, but I got
But I got 2 maps. I got the original one that comes with the game, and another one. And I just thought, why would you give me 2 maps? It generally just one was like a slightly nicer map.
I just like I like to see him. I like even the steel box or a sleeve. I don't really care about all the extra stuff. I like and it's just like Call of Duty, and you get like freaking night vision goggles. I'm just like, or a drone that's got a camera on it. I'm just like, bam, I'm all over that crap.
Yeah. I had Batman Arkham City Special Edition. That was just like it was like extra missions, play as Catwoman. And I had Halo Wars. That was really good because that came in a lovely, real big. It was like a box, but then it's got like this really cool diary in it. But it's got like sketches in it and shit like that, and it's really good.
Interesting
really
fact: Halo 4, the collector's edition is really cool, sort of big box thing. The very first mission, you step out of the chamber.
Yeah.
On the floor is collector's editions of Halo 4.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
That is nice.
See, I don't really like the collector's editions because, especially when it's a steel box, because I like to have my sort of DVD collection, my game collection, just sort of like in nice unity. It really pissed me off when they changed the size of the games.
Game boxes.
The game box. I'm so annoyed that I've got like that level and then the DVDs are all higher. So I'm gonna have to buy all of my DVDs on Blu-ray.
That's such a first world problem.
You know what annoys me?
Fucking cases are like so small on my
You know what I'm doing? I'm lining all my games. So I've got my games, my PS4 games, right? And you know, sort of like a white bit and then a blue. So it's got like the title of the game. Yeah. One of them is longer. One white bit is longer than the rest of them. So I'm lining them up and just going like, that doesn't bloody match now, does it? Like, I've got to put it at the bottom, so it sort of makes it.
Your inner OCD is going. This is just too much for me to handle, man.
I built my own DVD shelf. Like I built it with my own 2 hands, and I measured it so that it'd be like a couple centimeters taller than the DVD. And now there's fucking inches. What am I going to do with that?
Man, that is a real problem.
What am I going to do with those inches?
I feel you, man.
Maybe
I was quite looking for. I was really tempted to get the Infamous collector's edition because the case actually came in like a jacket. Like Delson's got this jacket, right? And the case of the game came in this jacket sleeve for the game, and you also got his beanie hat as well. And I was kind of like a sucker for that. I was like, yeah, because like one of the COD games you got like a proper rucksack and stuff, like a proper saddlebag. But okay, so collector's editions, it's all cool. I want to move on to something. We're talking about VR, and now this is a segment I call Down and Dirty with VR, with virtual reality.
I am looking at this and saying deep and dirty with VR. I was
deep and dirty with VD. No, VR.
all over my chest.
And there's really 2 things I want to know from everyone. The first one, I'm going to say the questions and then we can just discuss them. The first one I want to know is: does the Xbox now need to bring out their own virtual reality kind of unit, I guess, product to match Morpheus? And also, what's the killer app, so to speak, that would get you guys on VR? I'm going to open it up to the room. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm going to start with Alec. No, I'm not. I'm going to start with Steve.
I don't know what the question was.
Start with me. Start with me. I was listening.
Oh, start with you.
Where am I?
I think the Xbox. I don't know if it needs to, but I think the Xbox has already sort of suited itself for VR, but with the Kinect. So you could have the headset.
It's not really VR.
Use the Kinect's motion cap.
Yeah.
I mean, I was watching a video of somebody using the Oculus Rift to play Skyrim, and they'd set the Kinect up to track his body movements, and he was like firing arrows at people. And he's on one of those. They're like the movable boards that you wear like weird socks, and it tracks your movements as you're walking and stuff. which was cool. So I think the Xbox
Can you imagine walking across the world of Sky? How long that
you'd be
would
so
take?
tired.
You'd be knackered.
Just like-
fighting a dragon, you have to run.
Yeah.
I can't play anything. I need a good sit down.
I think I'd enjoy that though. I think that'd be really
here's the
immersive.
thing as well. Then, so the Xbox, they say they're not going to bring their own one out. Do they work now? Do they work more closely with the Rift? I can't imagine any PS4 games are going to have anything to do with the Rift because of Morpheus.
Yeah.
So will Xbox now just build a relationship with Oculus?
I wouldn't be surprised if they did. I wouldn't be surprised if Xbox went Oculus.
Then Oculus hasn't expressed an interest in ever really doing console games. So what is something going to break there? Is something going to?
Well, I mean, Facebook now has given them so much money that there's a possibility they can do both. Like, why couldn't they do console games as well as PC?
Well, they have said about actually, just to cut in, sorry, that they want to do an Oculus console. Facebook's already said that will be in
a console. What sort of console? Just to use Oculus Rift.
Oculus
kind of like
yeah,
the Steam machine.
Yeah, I'm guessing it'll be like that. I mean, there's no details about it. It's just they've said that.
Just sort of
they've said like they want to put money into it, and there will be money for a console. So.
Just give us a console.
I don't have a clue what you're saying.
But to be honest, I think like Xbox, because it's so early days with the current gens at the moment, like Xbox could actually play the patient game and just say, like, well,
can they afford to though, man? Can Xbox afford to play the patient game? I don't think they can.
Yeah, but they might be able to. That's the thing.
No, but can they? I don't think. Why might they be able to?
Yeah,
well, it's not the leaders at the moment.
Yeah, what happens? All right, so they play the patient game. It goes one or two ways. So they risk the Morpheus being incredibly successful, PlayStation doing really well with it, and then they're like, bollocks, right, let's build one. 3 years later, 2 years later maybe, they come out with something, or they make it and it doesn't kick off. And I mean, kind of like the original Kinect for the 360, they probably made back the amount of money that they spent on building it, but it probably didn't make them any. I'd imagine they're going to have to bring something out.
Yeah, but you think about it, this generation's been defined by who jumps first, and Sony jumped first, and it's paid off. So Microsoft are going to be very conscious of when they jump on this sort of stuff. I don't think they can afford to play the waiting game.
But it's only just because, like, if you used to ask so many games at the moment, how many, like, as a rough idea, would say, yeah, I want to be doing VR? Like, if I was to ask you, would you want to do VR? Does VR interest you?
If it didn't give me headaches, then maybe.
That's what I like the idea of VR, but I'm not the one jumping on it just yet. I'd rather just see how it pans out, because I'm not really too bothered, because, like, okay, it's great, it's more immersive, but there's nothing just to make me say, look, this is the next step for me. I'm quite happy just sitting quite comfortably on my couch, playing. Like, I know it's the next step.
I don't need it to be right there.
It's so early days yet for me to think, well, do you know what I mean? Something's got to really properly wow me, and that I don't think is going to happen just yet. That's going to take a few years to work out.
I totally understand what you're right. Yeah, I totally understand what you're saying. But if I asked both of you guys, do you want to connect in your Xbox One before you got it, you would have said, no, I don't use that Connect at all. And now,
I always use my Kinect.
Yeah, no, now you do, but not before. I'm saying
No, I've always had the Kinect on the 360, and I've always used it. I really enjoy it. Like, we used to play Kinect Sports all the time.
I saw it a Euro game way before I ordered my Xbox, and I saw the capabilities and thought, I want it here.
I don't use it.
Would I have bought it straight away? I would have probably bought it like the next month, so that it's not in that paycheck. Do you know what I mean?
Here's the also thing as well then, fun. So Microsoft jumped first with this tech for the first Kinect, and it's paid off now when they've got this great product lined up. So shouldn't they have really tried to do something else?
But just
now the Kinect is integrated successfully.
Well, they might be. I mean, they might not have announced it.
Microsoft hasn't exactly used the Kinect to its full potential at the moment.
We've still got E3 to come. You never know. They might come out with a complete curveball and be like, by the way, here's
this is Project Neo.
Yeah.
See what I did there?
I really hope they do call it Project Neo. That'd be incredible. Morpheus versus Neo would be absolutely unbelievable. Any more
Project
I'll tell you what,
Smith.
Any references to the Matrix,
Andrews.
it'll up in my book. So what would be what would get you an AR? What would be the killer app to get you an AR?
VR.
I'd say it's AR.
Sorry, augmented reality.
We'll get us on that wolf.
Augmented reality? What? Like Blipper?
That's a little plug in there, isn't it?
Blipper available on all OS devices. If I will get you for me personally, it would have to be a game, almost like a fight. Like pilot fight in space sim, where I probably look around those planets and there's everything to explore. I'm not too sold on the whole VR thing. I'm finding the case, but I'm getting sort of quick questioning you guys, but I'm not too sold on it. I don't like the idea. Playing on the Oculus was fun. I'd rather have a huge TV and play on a huge.
Do you know what?
TV.
I couldn't imagine me though playing the Rift at home.
No, I can't.
It was fun. It was
head.
fun, like watching people go on a roller coaster using it and doing it yourself while other people were around. But doing it on your own, no.
Yeah.
I think the thing that worries me about VR is
You can't see attackers.
is what is going to happen.
Watching porn will be really, really.
Think
good.
about the children.
Why would that worry you?
Think about
really up close.
Well, look, if you're watching porn and then and then your mum comes in and you're just like,
and you're just standing there jacking. And
or not just your mum, it could be anyone.
Well, you'd like to think that your mum wouldn't stand there and watch you. You'd like to think that she'd see it and think, oh, perhaps I should leave now. Let me finish up.
What are you watching?
The amount of times this podcast devolves into conversations about this.
Could you imagine just standing there doing that, and then all you hear in your just in your peripheral sort of hearing is, "I'm just gonna take the cups."
Yeah.
Do you want to fresh up room?
Steve, try a cup of coffee.
Mum, I'm busy. God,
I'll be down in a minute.
You're outside, right?
It's getting faster.
Imagine horror games with the
exactly
Rift,
right. So what I was saying before Steve really interrupted me and made us talk about porn
That was my tangent.
is what I worry for the children. What if they bring out a really good RPG, or what if World of Warcraft goes into the Rift, and you're just going to have kids just taking themselves into another world where they get to be like this dragon or whatever.
Well,
But isn't that better than this world?
But that's technically already happening now in Japan, isn't it? That's the reason why their population is going down, because a lot of them are doing all this virtual reality stuff. It is, it's true. Virtual reality. They're doing
Where
Because they've got the highest number of suicides or anything like that.
Where is it true? Where did you
I'm sure that I read it on it was BBC. It was on report.
Mate, he read it on the internet.
It's
I read it on a very reliable source. It was a blog.
It was
WordPress.
Anyone who believes this shit is an idiot.
I'm sure I read it somewhere. It was probably the internet, but I'm sure I watched it on TV.
I'm sure I read it somewhere. It was probably the internet, but then I watched it on TV. Like,
No, it was on TV. I'm sure
Channel 4 make fucking documentaries about a boy who was a spider.
That's believable.
Really?
Yeah, they did. Spider Boy.
What made him a spider?
He had an extra couple legs or an extra couple.
Oh, so he
arms, I think.
couldn't stick to a wall.
No,
No,
it's
he
like
wasn't.
Turtle Boy. Like all it is he's got a large. Well,
He's got a couple.
It's
shell.
a tumour of a shell.
Oh.
It's literally.
And he's just like.
Oh.
These are factual, though, aren't they?
Yeah.
This is just like the population.
Speaking of Turtle Boy, has anyone seen the new trailer for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
What, film or
Film.
No. Isn't it? And they got Angelina Jolie.
Megan Fox in April.
Playing April. That is just.
It's not.
That makes me so
watch
mad.
the trailer. She's not April. April's not Megan Fox.
No.
It disappoints me. And also, Michelangelo looks a little bit like the really big ugly guy from the Goonies.
Here you go.
Yeah, he literally looks like that.
Sloth, yeah.
Yeah. And on that fantastic bombshell of a quote, we'll talk about more Ninja Turtles
Of course.
Next week.
next week.
We'll do it the outro.
We come to the end of episode 10.
Yeah.
Double figures. We'll have to 11 next time.
Yeah.
We want to thank you very much for listening to this. Please continue to support the website at www.implayin.co.uk. Where, depending on where you're listening to this, you can also go to YouTube, which is I'm Playing TV. Check us out on Facebook at www.facebook.com/I'mPlaying. Twitter at I'm_playing. We're on Mixcloud at I'm Playing. We stream on Twitch regularly, kind of regularly at I'm Playing.
Basically, just
check on Facebook.
check on
just
Facebook.
Google I'm Playing.
Google I'm
Because
Playing,
nobody
yeah.
else is called I'm Playing.
We're doing a good job. I've been Alex Nicol, aka Big Bad Monkey. We've had Conrad Window, aka
Nom nom. See you later, guys. Thank you.
You've got Steve Riley as Cadius.
And Alec Ward, aka Alex Pillock.
Fantastic. I want to thank you everyone so much for listening, and keep playing.